All right, everybody, welcome back to STL 316. It's the after party. Obviously, WrestleMania 41 weekend is come and gone. And then, of course, you had the after party, which is Monday Night Raw, going to be broken down by the one, the only, you know who he is. And, of course, you know, he's got his own little intro, so we got to play it for him.
Because I want to walk with Elias.
He is the own STL's own, the host of STL 316, the doctor of Style Sith. Man, a great, somewhat WrestleMania weekend. I mean, it was like boom, 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 boom. You know, I'm going to put it in terms of like you Susios like to talk. And it was like you were with the perfect girl. And at the very end, her dad walked in and screwed it all up, man. That's what I got from WrestleMania. Welcome to the show, man. This is your show. Break it down for everybody here. First off, what do you got for WrestleMania overall?
Oh, man, WrestleMania would have been perfect, bro, if we had got in night one's main event with night two's card, you know, because that John Cena match was ass.
That's what I meant. I mean, it was like
that time I meant to stutter, y'all. I know y'all know I got to stutter. That's how I meant to do it. That was ass, bro. Like I said, you had the perfect description to start it off. You know, we were with the baddest girl, and either her dad walked in, or she just did too much damn talking. You know what I'm talking about, Rudy. WrestleMania overall, you know, came and went. I think NXT stand and deliver, knocked it out of the park, beat them out for sure. Raw after Mania was cinematic to say the least, setting up all these new storylines and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was one hell of a show, Rudy. I'm happy with how everything turned out. I told you in a text earlier I had a gripe with someone, and we'll get there eventually.
we're gonna end the show because apparently you don't like what The Rock is cooking. So we're gonna definitely end that with the show so you can have your 15 minutes with The Rock, man. So don't worry. And we're kind of foreshadowing here because yes, Sith has a lot to say when it comes to The Rock. We actually have The Rock's clip we're going to play around that time where he's on Pat McAfee, give you reasons as to why, you know, Sith is not very happy with The Rock himself. But yes, like we mentioned, we're going to go over real quick. We're going to be able to do about 30, maybe 45 minutes here talking to you about WrestleMania 41. Drop your comments down below. That way we can go over them, talk to the doctor of Style Sith himself. We're also going to get into the Monday night recap as well. That's going to be all Sith as well because weird, like last week you mentioned a certain someone joining a certain faction, and
hey, I'm 2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2. I told you.
You're 2 for 2. And what's crazy is how I think you and I were calling a lot of stuff pre-WrestleMania and texting back and forth like we knew that was happening. We called that. We called that.
Yeah.
We called that. And I mean, I'm not going to say we're both, you know, we know it all. We're writers, but I mean, it goes to show why STL 316 is one of the best shows out there. Appreciate everybody's support here. Overall, man, WrestleMania 41 for you. Now, you had a bunch of highs. I mean, you saw Dominic getting crowned with a belt. You saw the return of, you know, the man, Becky Lynch. They won the titles, and then, you know, Monday night happened. We'll get into that as well. You saw, obviously, Jey Uso beating Gunther, something that we called as well. Again, I had a feeling he was going to beat Gunther there. You just saw a lot of great, spectacular moments in WrestleMania. X out the Cena part. What were your best moments for WrestleMania 41 for you?
Man, that 450 backsplash that I was gonna say Chad Gable, El Grande Americano whipped out. Man, he really whooped on Rey Fenix, gave him his first WWE loss.
Yeah,
man, but it was well deserved. He probably had one of the best, although stereotypical. You know, it was was a big ass story. He was mocking us Mexicans, but Chad Gable really showed out. Let's see. Dominic Mysterio really won the weekend for me.
Yeah.
Man, damn near had me in tears. I got on X and they had this memorial piece, I guess, featuring Eddie Guerrero, where
Yeah.
he said he's gonna carry the Guerrero name, and Dominic lived up to it. I told you exactly how it was gonna happen. Finn Balor was gonna
Mhm.
eat the pin because our boy Braun Breaker was on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. The women, Naomi really carried Jade Cargill. It was
Yeah.
for what the match was, it was all right. The triple threat match between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair really went the way I expected it to. I'm glad that they're gonna give Io that push. Not just that, they trusted her for the debut match of Stephanie Vaquer on Monday Night Raw, so that was pretty badass, man. Neither of them took the loss there. We'll get there when we get to the Raw part, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. Travis Scott really won WrestleMania. Man, that shit was ass. But the triple threat main event in night one was damn near perfect. To me, I would put it toe to toe with last year's main event,
Yeah.
where Cody dethroned Randy Roman. But yeah, I think the winner of WrestleMania, if I had to bring it into three people, Seth Rollins won it, Dominic Mysterio, and Io Sky. Couldn't be more proud of them three. And I believe I picked all them to be pushed after Raw, after WrestleMania, and here we are, Rudy. Who are your winners and who are your losers, bro? Because I have a little something to say about Jake Paul. He put on a show, but he shouldn't have gotten the win over AJ Styles. But if it's
Yeah.
gonna push Karrion Kross, he crashed out after. Then
Oof.
by all means, just let it ride.
I
So
wanted
who are
to,
your winners, bro?
yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on that for Karrion Cross. Before we do, we got Leha in here, and he's definitely a winner in our book because of MCS General Contracting, Christopher Leha and the boys. I mean, hell, just on X today, they were posting jobs they were doing today, pictures of the guaranteed work you get by MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of STL 316, Sweep the League Network, I'm Refocus Radio. Everything under the umbrella is sponsored by MCS General Contracting. 100% guaranteed all the time, every time. Contact them today. He says, "What's good? We are here. Definitely, we are here covering it." My good part of the weekend was I loved the triple threat match. We talked about it. How what Paul decided, I'm leaving Roman. I'm gonna help Punk. But at the end of the day, we said, what? Paul's not done because we had a feeling he was going to join Seth. The backstab, then the double backstab, finishing it off with Seth. And you know what? This is what got me is when Paul did it. He sat in the corner, smiling, didn't give a shit. You know what that reminded me of? ECW Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman, the greatest heel of all time, arguably.
I loved it. That was like when I saw him do that, I smiled from ear to ear because it was like, wow, this is it. But for me, it was seeing the champions, whether retain or get crowned. Jacob Fatu getting crowned as a champion. Hell, LA Knight may get another push somewhere, but seeing again what we talked about, Jacob getting that belt, starting the big man roll back in there. We saw Braun lose it, but we knew Braun was on to bigger and better things, putting that title on Dom. Seeing Tiffany Stratton come in, defeat Charlotte Flair. I know we had a lot of bad talk about the Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton match, but I'm glad in a way they just let that play out, and the way it happened and ended was perfect to me. It was just everything on that. Io Sky, you convinced me she needs to remain champion. I loved everything about that. That was everything for me. But the highlight for me was the pop. The biggest pop in WrestleMania was when we all said his name,
Joe
giving
Hendry.
TNA's champion own a WrestleMania moment. And then if you do the backstory, you saw that Randy basically picked Joe Hendry to be his opponent before it was all. He said, he's ready. Let's give him a moment. And knowing that just shows you why there's a lot of love for Randy, a lot of respect for Randy Orton because yeah, he's had his troubles in the past, but the growth that he's had, putting a guy like Joe Henry, who we're going to see very a lot on WWE very very soon, that was the moment for me. It was kind of like your Dom moment. I'm like, this is perfect. This gives more hope to those that are coming up in NXT, and now the TNA, the partnership, it gives them a lot of hope. So those are my right there, man. What were your lows for WrestleMania 41?
All right, so you mentioned the Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair match. I enjoyed it to a point. Being a wrestling fan, I grew up watching all sorts of wrestling promotions and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's this thing called sandbagging. Are you familiar with the
Yeah.
term?
Oh yeah.
Right? Charlotte Flair, man, that was probably the stiffest I've seen her in the ring, and it was all done purposely. Hell, she left homegirl Tiffany Stratton a big old lump on her forehead, cracked her fucking tooth. So that was pretty brutal. I was like, all right, she's gonna give Tiffany the win, but she's gonna make her earn it. I'm
Yeah.
just glad Tiffany Stratton, she took it to Charlotte, got the win. Kayfabe or not, she came out looking way better.
Mhm.
Charlotte Flair's the one who's sitting back there looking like an asshole. Because if I pointed out that she sandbagged, I'm pretty sure new fans picked up on it. I got some tweets sent my way asking me, is Charlotte usually this stiff? Is she usually this how do you say it, this slow in the ring? And I'm like, nah, it's being done on purpose. It's a whole
Yeah.
level of pettiness. Should have been kept off of WrestleMania, for my opinion. If you're gonna act like that, then you shouldn't be rewarded by being brought out on the biggest stage, especially coming for a title. But I'm just happy they let Tiffany retain. Um, let's see other losers. Jey Uso, shout out Jey Uso. You did what you did, but that press conference gave me secondhand embarrassment. How are you gonna win the championship and show up that trashed, Rudy?
Yeah.
There's a thing, there's a difference between showing up trashed with the tag team titles and doing it while carrying the world heavyweight title, a prestigious title at that. Um, Gunther, man, I don't know what to tell you. It broke my heart. Broke my heart to see him go out like that. But it was kind of a little tribute to Ilya Dragunov. He tapped Gunther out the exact same way.
Yeah.
Losers, let's see. The Viking Raiders New Day match. Everyone involved in that match,
Yeah.
that Clash of Clans gimmick bullshit, just it was horrible. That match didn't need to be there. If you're gonna have a tag team title match, then bring in Carmelo, bring in the Street Profits instead. I think they
Yeah.
were more deserving of a Mania moment than I'm sorry, the War Raiders. How are you gonna hype up all this Big E talk and not even have the OG New Day song play or something? It was horrible. Travis Scott not selling the Crossroads as good as he should have.
Yeah.
That was horrible. The referee who can't for that main event that got what shoved with the power of like a 4-year-old girl, and he acted like
Oh
he
yeah.
was a gunshot victim. I was like, nah, this shit ain't working out for me, Rudy. Uh, John Cena calling out loud spots was secondhand embarrassing, bro.
Again.
Irish Whitney,
Again.
hit me again,
Oh
again.
my
I was
God.
like, bro, forget the hair transplant. Send your ass back to the NXT Performance Center and shake off that ring rust.
The
And now
power
we
plant.
now we expect you to carry that title. Come on. And Rudy, after hitting Cody Rhodes with 5 AAs or FUs, I'm glad they brought it back to the FU.
Yeah.
And it not taking him out, that has to be the worst freaking finisher of all time. And don't
It
get
was
me
bad.
started. Don't get me started on that STFU lock, bro. You had you had Cody Rhodes up in here bobbling, bro. You're not getting choked down. Stand the hell up. What the hell are you doing?
It was, that match was, it honestly, you had high expectations, but would it be safe to say we had high expectations because we expected people to come out during that match, kind of similar to last year? And obviously, we didn't get anything like that, and we're going to get into that later. But we didn't get anything like that. In that match, Cena just was terrible all around. And I mean, I felt bad for Cody because it's like, man, you legit walked away and walked out of the ring and walked away from the backstage interview, but deep down inside, it was like, what the fuck was that? I mean, he
Exactly.
was definitely thinking like that has to be. I mean, dare I say that has to be one of the worst main events, if not the worst, that we've seen at a Mania.
Definitely one of the worst. Man, if we look back to just the Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens had that ladder match, right?
Yeah.
So we had Cody Rhodes damn near break his neck in the middle of the ring and still come out the victor. You're telling me that one swift kick to the nuts and a title tap took you out? Horrible ending, especially what he endured last year. Solo Sikoa spike, couple super kicks. Shit, they damn near did everything but stab the dude, and he came out champ. So the way he turned this title over, it just didn't set well with me. I wanted Cena to get the title, but not this way, man.
Yeah.
And if we were gonna have heel Cena, why not have him turn tonight? The way I would have planned it out, why not have the match? Cena wins the Chamber the way he does. You know, it's just luck of the draw. Seth Rollins had nothing. He wasn't siding with anyone. And
Yeah.
then at Mania, we would have Cody Rhodes and Cena and redo that referee spot. Have him knocked out. And then Cena kicks Cody in the nuts and hits him with the title for the first time, revealing that he's going heel. Imagine that pop at Mania. That would have covered up, how shitty of a match this was, in my opinion. There's 100 ways it could have gone with it, but we have some asshole in the upper room, um, you know, puppeteering and not doing his part. But we'll get there because I'm gonna cook his ass. You already know.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna see what the or smell what the Sith is cooking. That is for damn for sure.
Hell yeah.
Chris Gonzalez, but he's been calling out spots for 20 years, so it's not new. He said Cody sandbagged that match.
Cody didn't
And
sandbag
I kind of like I mentioned before, I mean, to me, Cody did probably the best he could
to carry
with what
Cena.
circumstances that Cena put him in,
Exactly.
because that was terrible. I love the way you ended that, saying that the ending should have been, never turn Cena heel. If you're not going to use The Rock anymore, then you should have had him turn heel at Mania. That would have been the perfect one. Jacob Barrett, great in the market zone. He's here for the recap. Shout out to Jacob Barrett here on STL.
Shout out my boy Jacob.
Yeah, STL 316 again, sponsored by MCS General Contracting, breaking down WrestleMania 41 here. Getting to our low points. Sith gave you his. I'm going to give you a couple of mine real quick, and they're real basic because I know we got to get into a Raw recap, and then you got to go and cook the Rock here in a little bit. But the lady, that decided to pretend she was, barreled over and bulldozed by a wrecking ball because Stone Cold crashed
Man.
his ATV into the side of the stands there. That was just dumb in itself because he hit the side, but she wasn't anywhere near that.
And she fell like 6 seconds later.
Yeah.
There's a slow-mo clip. I saw it on X, had me dying. I'm like, hell, she sold better than Cena did, bro.
It was, I started looking at like, what the hell happened? And oh, wait a minute. Come on, man. There's no possible way that she got hit that hard. And he hit it hard, but not like that, dude. So that was my biggest one right there. You mentioned the tag team match, the New Day. That was bad. Everything else, I mean, outside of the Cena Cody match, everything else was okay. I kind of lived with it. I kind of expected a little bit more from Drew and Damian a little bit, but I think that was just me wanting more from that. You wanted to maybe cook a little bit about Logan Paul. So I'm going to give you more of your time here because you are the host of STL 316. What shit do you got on Logan Paul?
For one thing, his manager or whatever the hell he is, always getting involved, trying to pass those damn brass knuckles. Get a new spot. You've been doing that shit ever since you've been in WWE. I'm not saying that not have him interact or become part of the match itself. But Rudy, it's the same thing. Jump the barricade, crouch down, pass the brass knuckles, do something different. Hell, get him a bottle of Prime to smack the other dude with. Change it up a bit. As for Logan Paul himself, I think he did good. He didn't kind of the same moves we've seen already. I mean, I guess we're familiar with his bag, so we're talking about him. So he didn't do too bad. AJ Styles, got to give him all the credit in the world for putting over Logan Paul on the big stage of them all. AJ Styles returning would have done him wonders to get the win. But Karrion Kross being involved in that segment, telling AJ Styles, hit him with the brass knuckles, hit him with the brass knuckles, and AJ Styles having morals and turning it down, thus getting the loss. I kind of like where they're going with that. because
Yeah.
Rudy, all this leads to that Karrion Kross crash out after. That's all I had to touch on Logan Paul if we want to get to that.
Yeah. We
Karrion
can.
Kross crashed the interview room. He basically said what we were all thinking. He's like, I'm a veteran in the game. I deserve to be here. They have me doing these fucking segments in the side. His words, not ours.
Yeah.
Dropping the F-bomb here and there. He's like, we got them fucking assholes in there just not knowing what to do with me. I've been giving them the best mic work of the year, yada yada, you know. And then he lets them know, and they leaked my contract my contract shit. He's like, I can't even own that. So it's kind of a work and kind of a promo, I guess. It was something similar to the pipe bomb, CM Punk's pipe bomb. But Karrion Kross left it all out there, and I hope they push him to the sky. I hope it doesn't end up the other way and they push him out of the damn company. Because he was
Yeah.
spitting facts, bro. I mean, I believe with everything he says, AJ Styles should have AJ Styles should have turned um Karrion Kross, man. He deserved his spot in Mania itself with the way he's been cooking. I don't see
Yeah.
why he couldn't be in AJ's or Logan Paul's corner for the event itself. But yeah, that
It's
was it.
gonna
What did you
happen.
what did you think about that segment or that promo, if you will?
I, you know, I wanted to, and that's what I was going to ask you. I know we got to go to a quick commercial break to get in the second segment here in a little bit, but I wanted to ask you on that Karrion Kross thing. Let me get this comment. I heard that lady was in concussion protocol. Yeah, I mean, I think she was, if I'm not mistaken, from what I heard, but I don't know, man. That's crazy. Cross fucking killed it after the show, spitting facts. We're gonna get into that right now, Leha. Evening, Rudy, and the hack. Oh my God, you went from the doctor style to the hack.
Harry, this
Harry
is for you,
Austin.
bro. This is
Oh,
for you, Harry.
yeah, the doctor style's throwing that stone cold salute to
It's
you.
all up to it's all up to Harry. I love that old man, bro. They said
Oh
be nice
man.
to the elderly, so
Well, before we go to commercial break, I want to ask you about the Karrion Kross because you brought it up, Leha brought it up. Was it so in wrestling? There's moments where you've got the pipe bomb, you've got certain things that are said, and I saw it. I was pumped about it. I was like, yeah, yes, yes. But when I had time to think about it, I was like, was that a work? Was that the work to get into? Okay, he's gonna get that push now because he laid it all out. He said what he said. Do you think it was more of a work, or was it really Karrion Kross just that pissed off? Because for me, he sold me on it that he was pissed, but we are in the wonderful world of wrestling, so we really don't know.
man, to be honest, I think it was a little bit of both. I think he got the green light from Triple H. He's like,
Yeah,
all right, instead of airing your grievances to me, go ahead, do it on the mic. But do it in a way your character would. We don't want to hear real life, whatever Carrion's name is. Just do it as the character. You have all these cameras around here. You want to push? Let us know why you deserve to get that push. And bro, he laid it all out there. He went out there basically calling Triple H and them, they don't know what they have working with him. Call them assholes, basically, and this and that, saying he deserved the spot. And by all means, the way he's been carrying the company through social media, he's doing what Drew McIntyre did last year on X.
yeah,
He's been dropping probably the best promos. Just that it's not on a televised show. But as we saw on Monday, Carrion's coming into the picture now, so I guess it checked out for him, and I'm all for it. Like
yeah.
I tweeted out as soon as it happened, I think I said, "Oh shit, best promo of the year," and I stand by that. And here I am on my own show, standing by it again.
I would say so. That pro. I mean, again, I was so pumped. I was like, you know what? This is gold. This is wrestling gold that we're watching. But after it was said, and I thought, I was like, man, is that more of a work? And like you mentioned, I think you're right. Triple H probably gave him that okay, you're pissed off. Air it out on the mic. Let's get it out there. Why, man? You saw the buzz it generated. So
Hell yeah.
it's a win-win for Karrion Kross and the WWE. Recapping WrestleMania 41. When we get back, it's time to recap Raw, because if you thought WrestleMania was good up until the end, Raw was just as good too. Who's going to break it down for you? Obviously, it's going to be the Doctor of Style Sith. When we get back here, it's going to be Monday Night Raw talk, and apparently The Rock just doesn't cook anymore. Why? Because Sith is going to cook the hell out of The Rock. Why is he going to cook him? You got to stay tuned to STL 316 with the Doctor of Style Sith. Rudy joined him here tonight. We'll be back in just a second, guys. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting. Building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Because I want to walk with Elias.
And you heard it again. Everybody wants to walk with Elias here. The Doctor of Style Sith, Rudy Campos Jr. coming to you here on STL 316, recapping WrestleMania 41, which we did in the first part of the show. Second half is up next. What do we got coming up here? We've got the recap of Raw, which the Doctor of Style is going to break it all down for you right now. Then we've got a segment about The Rock. I know The Rock listens to STL 316. You should be too. Not only that, because you get the best coverage in wrestling right now with the Doctor of Style Sith. Shout out to MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Sith, let's see. Chris, did y'all recap NXT? We did not recap NXT. You want to do a couple of minutes on NXT? I'll give you the floor, then you can go off for Raw.
I don't want to get too in depth with it. I just want to give a quick shout out to Sol Ruka. She won that for the Women's North America Championship. That ladder match was goated. Stephanie Vaquette came out on top against Julia Parker, and who am I missing? Someone else, dude. I wasn't.
Bo was it? Bo.
I caught NXT on the back end, so we'll just jump into Raw talk. Sorry about that, Chris. Oh, Grace.
You're good.
Jordan Grace. How could I forget Jordan Grace? That's my muscle mommy, bro. Oh, she's just 5'3" or 5'2", pure muscle and beauty.
No kidding. You know, the NXT wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't super duper bad. I kind of enjoyed it. I did watch it all, and I really did enjoy a lot of it. But Femi, dude, I gotta ask you a quick question before you go to Raw. Femi's the champion. I totally get that. He just doesn't feel like he's main card material. I mean,
really,
it's all power. It's all brute. I mean, muscle. He's got the look, but for me personally, I still haven't seen enough in the ring. You know, it's just kind of like, I don't know how to put it politely. It's like you're good. I like the look, but it's like the ring, the way he's in the ring. Sometimes it looks a little stiff. Sometimes it looks a little, good.
Goldberg-esque.
Better than Goldberg.
Better than Goldberg. Between Brock Lesnar, maybe.
That's a good comparison. I think he's right below Lesnar in a way, but I think he has potential to be really, really good, is what it is. I just think there's just something about him that I think he's still quite a whiles away. I don't know if that's just me. I just want to bring that up to you. But yeah.
No, I'd keep him on NXT at least a year, so to keep developing. He's been one hell of a champion over there.
Yeah.
We saw him on, I believe, SmackDown. Leha, if you're in there. We saw him on SmackDown. He's a giant of a human, Rudy. Like he was intimidating, and I'm over here sitting row 8, and I'm scared to come across this dude. But he'll be all right. He just needs to clean up some stuff. Like you said, he's pretty stiff at times, but for where he's at, he works as the NXT champion.
Yeah, and Leha saying we blow smoke up Gunther's ass all the time. But it's kind of weird. Gunther is he's similar to Gunther, but it's hard to say, man. I don't know what it is. I think I have more expectation from Obi than I do Gunther at times. So I don't know. It could be something like that. And Obi Femi has only been in the ring for 2 years. Yeah, and that's what it is. I think he still needs to get seasoned more. But Raw recap, man.
He's too vanilla. He's too vanilla.
Yeah, he needs about another year, like you said. He's got to get. It's just something about it that they got to fix on him, and he's got to get a little bit better at it. And I really can't circle what it is, but just watching him, I love it. But it's like, man, there's bits and pieces. I'm like, I don't know if he's ready yet. But Raw recap, man. Give everybody that Raw recap.
And Raw, let's start off with Monday Night Raw. We got the GOAT, literally the GOAT now, greatest of all time, 17-time world champion, WWE champion, John Cena. Y'all hate him at the moment, but you know y'all cheered for him one time, at least one time in y'all's lifetime. Man, cut one hell of a promo. I want this title, but not for y'all. I got the championship. I got the record, and now you guys want to celebrate me. You don't deserve shit from me. I love every single moment of it. And the whole setup to that surprise attack, Rudy, man, the way they worked the crowd was perfect. Y'all get your phones out. This is the last time you're gonna see a champion like this. Then we see the Apex Predator creeping in, and boom, the 3 deadliest letters in all of sports entertainment, the RKO. My personal favorite finisher, my personal favorite wrestler. So we get to revisit this rivalry with Randy Orton and John Cena. This is the first time where their roles are switched. John Cena is the heel, and Randy Orton will be the face. And this all goes down next month in Backlash at St. Louis, Randy Orton's hometown. I don't think they'll pull the trigger on Cena losing just yet, but I expect him to get the title soon, within the next calendar year.
You and I were talking. We're thinking SummerSlam is when Cena probably ends up losing. I think they go up until SummerSlam.
Probably.
That's when I think the change is made.
That's where I would keep it. It's the next, being that it's a 2-day show now.
Yeah. So yeah, the Orton Cena that was good. You saw Orton on the poster for Backlash. You knew he had to have some kind of major part in that. So that's going to be fun to watch here. The Drew Show. The countdown is on his days left with the chef's kiss.
That was savage. He told him, you have 27 appearances left for me, 35 weeks. He's like, get your tickets if you're going to get them, because after this, I'm done with y'all. I ain't coming back. Y'all can't beg me to come back. And if there's no one beating me by then, y'all are going to have to get a new title because I'm taking this shit with me. Basically what he told them.
Yeah.
I loved every moment of that promo. That was probably Cena's best work since coming back. I couldn't really buy into his earlier heel promos, but man, this was it. Let's see. Who else do we have? We have Io Sky getting her celebration cut short with the surprise entrance from Stephanie Vaquer. Bro, they put on probably the best match of the night. You had both beautiful women doing flippy shit, which a lot of fans aren't happy about, but I enjoyed every minute. They were kind of teased to I thought they were gonna put double titles on the line. That would have been cool. Maybe we'll get down to it eventually. But it's not what happened during the match that had me jumping off my seat. We had Roxanne Perez and Julia attack Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky. And who came for the save?
Mommy.
Rhea Ripley. And that you caught that teaser. Julia versus Rhea. Man, that's gonna feed families once they make it happen, bro. I'm gonna request day off from work and the following day because I'll be watching that match back to back until my little heart gives up, man. The women really carried. We got the return of Miro, or sorry, y'all, Rusev. Rusev Day is back.
I'm glad they waited till Raw to bring him out. I mean, people expected him at Mania, but I was like, man, no. I'm glad. I'm glad they brought him at Raw. It felt better to bring him back at Raw.
I was just reading Drew's
What does he got here? It says people who watch the Divas reality show say that his heel John Cena aligns with his in real life persona. Wasn't
I
there that
was
one episode where he came home and that she was making dinner and she made all this food and he was
and
kind
he's like, why? You just trashed my kitchen.
I like asking
Or
Cena.
when the dog nipped him, he's like, we're gonna have to put him down. I was like, God dang, I didn't know we were going that far, but all right. But
As far as Raw recap goes, you brought up EO. We're talking about that. You brought up the Rusev. Brought that stuff up. Another one that we mentioned as well earlier was Valkyria and Lynch against Rodriguez and Morgan. You ended up,
we got to see the turn of Becky Lynch.
yeah, and at WrestleMania, that was kind of another moment for me where I didn't like it, but it's almost like we have to accept it. And Becky Lynch coming back, but with Morgan and Rodriguez, they ended up defeating Lynch and Valkyria. And it's kind of weird if you're gonna lose the title one night, just give it right back the next night. I have zero understanding why that even happened.
I mean, it worked. It worked when they did it to. Well, I'm happy we're bringing up Cena, right? We're talking about Cena earlier.
Yeah,
it worked when it happens to Rey Mysterio. They rewarded him with the WWE Championship. They're covering him in champagne and whatnot, and Cena's kind of like, "All right, I got next." And he whooped the shit out of Rey Mysterio, bro. It was heartbreaking for us luchador fans, but as a bigger Cena fan, it was great. Great to see.
Added numbers, man. Do you think we'll see Lana back with Rusev in WWE?
No, for sure, for sure. They were actually together at Las Vegas. I think they're working on getting her Legends contract. I know some people were saying, "Oh, how is she a legend?" Bro, how is Alicia Fox a legend? How is Melina a legend? You just had to be a part of WWE to get the call up, I guess. Rudy, Dominic Mysterio won the weekend, won Monday night, handed Penta his first singles match loss. We thought I was upset. I'm pretty sure you saw my tweet.
Yeah.
If Dominic Mysterio loses, we riot. Because they had Finn Balor staring down the title, and it's like, oh, here we go. The ref is being distracted by Carlito. Is Finn Balor about to shit the bucket for Dom? And no, bro, we get a returning JD McDonough. Shout out, the living Funko Pop. Gave his lungs for the game, bro. But it was perfect. That main event, it went beyond my expectations. I was kind of worried that Dominic wouldn't be able to keep up with someone like Penta, and he did, bro. He did fantastic. I'll give him his flowers. What were your thoughts on that match and that segment?
I liked it, and I know pre-Mania we had talked and we said, it feels like it's going to be a Penta Dom. They kind of started setting it up a little while back when Penta actually got into the WWE. You saw him at one of those press conference or one of those interviews that Dom was doing. Penta came in. They had that little exchange, so we kind of figured that it was going to start to roll a little bit. Now with Dom as the champion, I'm starting to like it. I like this first match. I see it going a few pay-per-views. I see Phoenix probably coming in there from time to time. I just see a really big luchador era right now with these three guys. Plus, of course, you've got Gran Americano. You got a lot of these guys that are going to be coming in. So I really feel like we're going to get some really good, kind of reminds me of WCW days from back in the day. We're going to get some of these high flyers back, and I'm here for it. I love it. Like I said, I've told you before,
especially with the acquisition of AAA Lucha Libre, bro. They're having that crossover PLE. Actually, on my birthday, June 7th, the GOAT Sith turns 30. But I'll be watching wrestling, of course. I came into this world watching wrestling. I'm gonna turn 30 watching wrestling, so it's perfect. Yeah, I think this is the era of luchadores, and I'm all for it, man. Let's get to that. The main segment of Monday Night Raw. Seth freaking Rollins and Paul Heyman in the middle
the turn. The
turn.
biggest thing you had. You saw Rollins teaming with obviously with Heyman. You saw Roman there, CM Punk coming out. And then you saw the turn. the turn that only one person that I know called happening, and that being the Doctor of Style Sith, host of STL 316,
You know it.
calling it. He said Braun is the next guy to join that stable with Paul Heyman. And you see it all over social media, bro. Evolution 2.0 is starting to take effect. And I kind of like where this is going, man. I really
And
do.
I told you, Rudy, I said, take that belt off of him now because he deserves the spotlight. Now he's in the main event segment. Now he's in a main eventing team, bro.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker, broke my tribal chief in half. Broke my heart, man. CM Punk, this stupid old ass, ran out there trying to be Mr. Cool. Like, I'm gonna whoop you, Paul Heyman. You broke my heart, just to get stomped out again.
Yeah.
But man, Roman Reigns came out, really put a whooping on Seth Rollins. Had Paul Heyman down for the count. We got him. He goes for the spear and he takes one himself. My God, was that perfect? And not just that, dude. He takes another one on the barricade too. Braun Breaker stole the moment, in my opinion. Shout out Seth Rollins, but now you have some real competition within your own faction. You know, Braun Breaker has the it factor. He's young too. His knees aren't jello. No, not hating on Seth Rollins, but he's gonna be the next Paul Heyman guy, and I'm interested to see where they run with Braun Breaker. Like I said, I
Well,
called it. We got to
you
get that
did.
title off of him. We were holding him back. They were holding him back. Like if I'm a writer, imagine if I was a writer, we'd bring back bra and panties matches. Whoops.
Oh,
This
God.
isn't
Those
SDO
would
After
be.
Dark. My bad,
Oh
y'all.
yeah,
My
no,
bad.
you're fine. I know a lot of people would love to bring those back there because those were some really good matches that everybody stayed up for back in the day. With the Braun Breaker thing, you called it, and I'm kind of hoping I see this happen. We talk about Cena losing the belt at SummerSlam. The same time, a week ago, we talked about Braun losing the belt. When does he get that push? It's going to be either SummerSlam or after, towards the end of the year. That's when we called it. It kind of sets up perfect because I think what you're going to see is you're going to see Paul have Seth go after Uso on that title.
He's
Then
already
you're going to
beaten him.
probably see Randy maybe beat Cena or somebody come in and beat Cena. And then you'll see Braun go after that title. And then you're going to have Heyman with both titles in hand. So I kind of see where it's playing. I'm hoping it kind of goes that way. Before we go into the Rock segment, our last segment, how do you see this playing out? Because right now, Heyman has two of probably the most dominant guys right now in his faction, with a couple more to be added. I mean, we'll be honest.
For sure.
Maybe one or two more will be added here.
Okay, so the way this would play out for me, the way I would get the title to Braun Breaker. So I almost walked over Jey Uso's celebration. We had Sami Zayn come out. You know, Sami had some beef with Braun Breaker earlier.
Yeah.
It was kind of foreshadowing, while Jey Uso was yeeting or whatever the hell you call it. You had Sami Zayn stand behind him like, I need that title. You owe me. I'm about to whoop your ass and get that. But we're best friends while the camera's rolling.
Yeah.
So I say that's Jey Uso's next rivalry. We give Sami Zayn the title towards the end of the year, and we get Braun Breaker back into the championship picture, and we have Breaker take it from Sami because he knows he has Sami's number already.
Yeah.
You remember the whole Rocky, Chad Gable and Sami Zayn, Rocky 3 moment, the training montage and whatnot. You're gonna beat Braun Breaker and get me that title. So
man. And it's gonna happen.
That's how I would get it.
It's gonna happen because you called it, man. No doubt
Yes,
about
sir.
that.
Put money on it.
They bought AAA. These roster luchas are going to do many appearances at AAA houses, big events with non-lucha mid cards. Y'all ready for the Dangerous Alliance 2.0? We're ready for something, man. I know one thing for sure. We're ready for The Rock here. We're gonna let Seth cook here. Give him the last couple of minutes to cook here on STL 316. What did The Rock say? It's kind of a breakdown of what The Rock said.
I knew then the best thing for the final boss, we've established this idea of Cody's soul. We can always come back to it. I did feel, and I made the call, I don't want to be involved in that. Step back. Let the final boss step back into the shadows. Let all the spotlight go to John. Let it go to Cody. Let's not make it about Cody's soul eventually or John's soul. No, let's let them do what they do. And I called John after Elimination Chamber, spoke to him, called Cody, and I said, I think the final boss's work is done. We've established it. We just pulled off the greatest angle in the history of professional wrestling, other than Hulk Hogan turning heel back in the 90s. I said, this is amazing. We have 6 weeks. Now, let's build. You guys go and crush it. And I'll be right there with you. And I'm always here if you need me. But I think it's best for the final boss not to be involved in that finish.
My God, bro. My God, if that's not a PR thing happening, bro, right now. You can't say you didn't want to be involved. You're out there reshooting your damn Moana 3, 4 live action, whatever the hell you're out there doing. Rudy, do you smell what The Rock is simmering? Because he's not cooking, bro. Shit's horrible. You're telling me your ego that you don't want to be involved, but yet you made the Elimination Chamber all about you. John Cena's win didn't even matter at the end of the night because you came out, you did your thing. You know, even at prior events too, you're over here doing the neck slicing, and you have everyone trying to predict the outcome of WrestleMania. Who's the third man out?
Yeah.
Just to be like, oh, that was never the plan. No, my job's done. I got Cena and Cody Rhodes where they needed to be in order to make WrestleMania main event worth a damn.
Yeah.
Rocky, here's the thing. They're more relevant than you ever fucking were, bro.
Damn.
Cody Rhodes won the crowd, bro. He won back WrestleMania next year where The Rock tried to shit the bucket and go up against Roman Reigns. No one wants that. No one wants Rocky in the ring.
Yeah.
Not at Mania. So Cody Rhodes took that shit back, went off script, said, you know what? I'm facing Roman. I'm not okay with you stealing my show. It just sucks that John Cena couldn't do the same. Couldn't go out and tell The Rock, just like your last four movies, this shit's not working out.
Well, I did catch The Rock, and I was like, hey, you know, Sith's got some words for you, man. And I told him, you know, he's gonna come down on you pretty hard. He didn't want me to give you a message. Know your role and shut your mouth.
Hell yeah.
I tried to tell him no, and I said, you know what I think, and of course that's what he told me. So I mean, I couldn't break it down to The Rock, but you're correct, dude. The Rock set up everything. It was the perfect setup from last year's WrestleMania all the way heading in for him to just throw a big middle finger to the WWE, not just the universe, like not the crowd, but the universe. I would even go as far as a lot of people backstage, wrestlers, writers. I mean, a lot of people had to be disappointed because this could have been an epic moment. And again, when Cena rides off, then you know The Rock can ride. It's not like The Rock does appearances every week or every other week or even every other month. I mean, this would have been the perfect time to have both of those guys kind of ride off in the sunset. They both get beat. Rock's done for. The final boss has been defeated. Cena, the ultimate heel now, you know, he's gone. So then it's kind of like, okay, we're getting rid of that old part of WWE. In comes that new era again. So that was where I was looking at. And yeah, you're right. It was a big OF
to
everybody.
Even Pat McAfee couldn't believe that shit. And
yeah,
Pat McAfee recovering from getting choked out from Gunther. He's the real one that was defending Michael Cole. But if someone needed to be choked out, it was Dwayne, man. Like I said, Hulk Hogan is known for being probably one of the biggest liars out there, right? Oh, yeah. He's over here that, I was gonna be part owner of UFC. I was wrestling with so-and-so 10 years before they even debuted, you know? So we all thought Hulk Hogan was full of shit, but no, I think The Rock takes the cake, especially with the way WrestleMania panned out. Man, and I got secondhand embarrassing because I'm telling everyone on the STL 316 show, watch the main event. It's going to be arguably the best WrestleMania of all time. We're going to have some sort of, The Rock's going to come out. We're going to find out who the third man out, man. It was a dud. You know, I felt like that, like a kid during the 4th of July. You get one of those black cats getting ready to throw them, and it just, that's all you get. That's all we got with that main event. The whole build up, the Iron Man mask, John Cena coming out, the way he did, no colors, no nothing. It's like, oh, he's setting a statement. He's real about it. And then the music hits. Fiend. Oh my God, Travis Scott, bro, get another fucking song. Put some weight on if you're gonna get in the ring, bro. You look like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch cinnamon stick from back in the day, posting up to Cody Rhodes. I don't get it, bro. When they say kids nowadays talk about aura, Travis Scott had negative aura. Let's just leave it at that. Yo, but Pat McAfee, he got a pair of Travis Scott kicks, so I guess him getting choked out and just being at the show worked out for him. But that's all I had to say in regards to The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you're a fraud, you're a fake, and you're full of shit. This PR stunt isn't going to save your ass because you ruined this WrestleMania. You almost ruined last WrestleMania. And I just hope you either buy yourself out of TKO or, I don't know, keep it in the back, bro. You don't need to be out here. Triple H didn't even mention your stupid ass during the Hall of Fame speech for a reason, too. I don't think they vibe with each other, and with an ego like The Rock, it's hard to, it's not hard to see why. That being said, I did buy a Travis Scott and Rock t-shirt. And it says, know your role and shut your mouth, But you know what? I'm a heel, guys. Follow me as Sister Heel. I'm the bad guy for a reason. But yeah, that's all I had to say about Dwayne The Rock. I'm saying Dwayne The Rick Johnson. He's not The Rock anymore. It's a little insider we have with the fellas. He's the Rick, bro. He's nobody. He's an average Joe now.
Drew shows back in here. Bruce Richard of his stupid AI voice to text that I don't. Bruce says Bruce Richard. Okay. I love the Drew show, man, when he jumps in here with us on STL 316 and Sweep the League. Man, it went by fast, super fast. We recapped WrestleMania 41, recapped WWE Raw, the after party in WWE Raw. Things are looking good for the most part in WWE. They're going in the right direction. Got to kind of figure some of this stuff out, but you know what? Eventually, the ship just starts to turn back into the right way. So, again, for me, outside of I would say, Stone Cold coming in drunk as hell and crashing into the barrier again, pretty much WrestleMania was, good up until the end. Like we mentioned it before the show here, WrestleMania was like you were with that hot girl just to get to the end, and then her pops walked in and you're thrown out in the street, kind of what The Rock did to us here for WrestleMania 41. But we're going to be back on STL 316. We'll let you guys know ahead of time when we have a show going. Pretty much predominantly know this for a fact. You're going to get a lot of STL 316 around pay-per-views. If there's big wrestling news, you're going to get STL 316. You're going to get Sith himself to do some STL 316 shorts and everything. So best way to get it is go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Not only are you getting art content, you're getting Iron Refocused radio content. Top it off, it's all sponsored by MCS General Contracting. You know how great those guys are. You're helping us out. You're helping them out. Just be a subscriber today. Contact MCS General Contracting. So for the Doctor of Style Sith, that's Rudy Campos Jr., should be back in a little bit here for STL 316. Not STL 316. Sweep the League TV. You should be just a little bit. So again, for Dr. Style Sith, it is Rudy Campos Jr. Until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, knuckleheads.